I get that you support Russia for whatever reason, but you saying that Ukraine hasn't taken an inch is flat out wrong. In fact, Ukraine has taken nearly 200 kilometers of territory across the entire 1,500-kilometer front line and continues to make steady progress in that regard, which honestly is the cherry on top for them right now of this counteroffensive. The fact of the matter is Ukraine is using similar tactics they use in Kherson, where they make it untenable for Russia to maintain its current positions. They don't want a direct engagement because they want to minimize casualties, both equipment and personnel, on the battlefield. The Ukrainians want to make sure they have enough people to continue to fight this war over the long term, while attriting Russian forces. They're doing this by, as this previous video showed, destroying rear echelon command centers, destroying ammo dumps like this video shows, destroying supply hubs, railway depots, etc., making it untenable to support the Russian front lines. Therefore, Russia has to withdraw without shots being fired, like Kherson. And so what we see now is the Ukrainians trying to spread the Russians thin across a 1,500-kilometer front line and using 3 of the 12 Western brigades. They still have 9 that they aren't using yet with Western equipment and Western training. They're doing this with 3 brigades, as well as all of the brigades that were previously in the Ukrainian military, those brigades that were not as a part of the Western training and equipping process. 9 brigades are, and they're not being used. And so what's happening is they're chipping away in different areas of the Russian front line to draw reserve forces out. And what we're seeing now, and what the Ukrainian intelligence directorate has noticed, is they're flooding more troops into Bakhmut, saying up to 170,000 troops have assembled. This is incredibly stupid of Russia if this is true. If Russia is flooding troops to defend Bakhmut because of the political implications of losing this city mere months after taking it, after a 9-month campaign to try and take it, that in Volodar, if they're throwing everything at this, the Ukrainians can see that taking place. They can see the buildup. They can see what's happening, and it plays right into the Ukrainian hands of trying to kill as many Russians as possible. When you kill as many Russians as you can and destroy their equipment, you can walk over their corpses and take the territory without shots fired. We are 6 weeks into this counteroffensive. Many offensive operations of the past have taken many months. There are multiple months of fighting ahead for Ukraine, where before we can all high-five and say that the mission is complete or the mission is even a success. But the reality is Ukraine is not fighting the same type of war Russia is. Russia needs to take territory. Ukraine needs to kill Russians. And to do that, you draw them to you. You don't dive into them. And that is the either mistake that many of you who think this counteroffensive needs to be broad swaths of land being taken, or those of you that just like to use the fact that Ukraine isn't taking land as whatever proof that Russia is successful. My metric for success with regard to Ukraine is how many Russians they can kill and how many Russian pieces of equipment they can destroy. Therefore, when they kill enough and destroy enough of the Russian combat power and warfighting capacity, like I said, they can just stroll on over the corpses and plant their flag in the land they've retaken there, just like they did in Kherson, just like they did in Kharkiv.